Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hello, my inwards. Today, we are discussing a very, very interesting topic. It is very relevant as well as important. So, let's get into it. Okay. So, what we are going to discuss today is the phenomenon that we are seeing nowadays of war craving. People want war. Why? This is the lust of having instant solutions. If you look into it deeply, like I am having an issue with my finger, it's aching, and I decided to just fucking cut it off. Now, it's not a practical solution, but it's just like war. The world is a functioning body, and if you exert a war or start a war, it means you are just cutting a part of your body just because it's annoying you or it's causing a problem. Now, if you are able to cut it without any problem, that means you were strong enough to defeat your enemy. And if you have repercussions, like in this case, by cutting my finger, I would have a lot of problem. Then it's not going quite well for you in the war. Okay. Also, the phenomenon of war. Why do people nowadays want war? Why in every conversation at the end it gets up in a certain point where we just have to punch each other to death to decide who is correct? So, too much radicalization. What's the reason for that? It's a sign that our system is failing, and the radical consumption of information among the youth is one of the most concerning reasons why this unhealthy culture is getting promoted. Okay, so why war? Why not fist fighting? Why not like Elon Musk suggested in this Russia-Ukraine war to Vladimir Putin, like let's have a boxing match, MMA style, and who would win would decide what's gonna happen to this war. Why not that? Why do we need full-blown wars? Okay, war is like physical confrontation, like not necessarily physically, it could be intellectually or stuff like that. Like we don't need to fight physically. It could be a war between thoughts. One would be defeated and will accept whatever the winner would give condition to let it survive and stuff like that. And it also has to be between two parties, two individuals or whatever. And if we look at the Abrahamic history and we ask what and when was the first war held, it was between Satan and God. And in that war, the premise was Satan did not like that God created something that is beyond Satan. And even if he created, why is he ordering Satan to bow down in front of Adam? And Satan got egotistical and forgot his position and disagreed with God, and he never agreed until now, at least according to partially Islamic theology and Christian theology. So as we can see, war is disagreement and a way to solve disagreement. Like if there is no two parties disagreeing, then there is no disagreement. Like if I kill my partner who is arguing with me, then there is no argument. It's simply like that. War is the ultimate solution of problems. Okay. So there were wars before and after, but in recent history we saw 2 world wars. And the reason these wars were called, or now called, the world wars is because the sheer amount of destruction that it brought into this world. Countries got created and got destroyed. Like USSR got divided after World War II, and many countries disappeared from the face of the earth. Japan got destroyed by America and got under its oppression, and still it's now in Japan. It's a separate topic, I'm not gonna go into it. But yeah, and so in the recent history, the biggest war we had was World War II. And who started the World War II? The ones who started World War II are the main veto giving parties in the United Nations. So the countries that got involved majorly or mainly in the World War II was the creator of United Nations. And then the Western propaganda started feeding the world population that the war should be the last way in which we should be confronting each other. So was there any other war after World War II? The obvious answer is yes, motherfucker. The one I can instantly remember is the Iraq War. Fought by who? The leader of United Nations. So it's very clear that there could not be more hypocrisy in this oath of not giving into a war. The policy that the world is following today is if you have enough power to fuck up your enemy, or in this case your opponent or your matter of interest, like America needed oil, so it was just trying to find any damn issue to get into the country. If you have that, then go for it. Fuck your enemy up and get whatever you want. And you are fucked if you are not a part of the United Nations or the part of great countries that made the United Nations. Like if USA declares war against any country, it's not gonna face any circumstances. No country is gonna give sanctions upon it. Who the fuck is gonna sanction USA? It's the sanctioning country. So yeah, if you're not the head, then you are not you will not be the one cutting the finger, So yeah, if you're the weaker side that's getting illegally occupied or something like that, the reason I call you weak is that if you wouldn't have been, then you wouldn't have been in a war. Like, you are weak, that's why you are in a war and you are getting fucked. In this Ukraine-Russia war, let's take it as an example. It was just in a position like Bangladesh. The big country is India, small country is Bangladesh, and let's say China is the USA in this case. Let's say India says that you can't do further relations with China because we are having a tough time between us in our borders, and Bangladesh says no, we will, because China is helping us economically and stuff like that. Then a war starts. We are obviously a very, very small country. Our army is weak, and then China starts helping us, like USA is helping Ukraine. What's the interest of China? First, India is its enemy. Second, if it invests in our country well enough, then the country is going to be owned by them real soon. Because after war, the losing side of the war has nothing. It's destroyed down to its core. Winner will left nothing for the loser. He'd take everything. So yeah, the reason it got into this. So I was reading the script and I got off the line. So if I come back to the main conversation, the reason why I decided to make this video is because I saw a YouTube short video of a guy, and I'm gonna talk about it a bit later. And the reason why I am not talking about Wikipedia and textbook bullshit about war here is because it's just like learning how to fuck according to books. It doesn't really help, does it? Now let's talk about the frog in the room. It's actually a short video in YouTube. This guy who's saying some real stuff about war. Now you will get some more real stuff in a while. So he actually points out some real aspects of war, like killing civilians. Killing civilians is really important. Like Moses said, kill all those women whom had seen a man, and keep those for you whom had seen none. So keep the virgins and kill the fucking hoes, or wives, housewives and stuff like that. Moreover, it's an annoying thing to have, civilians speaking about in war. In a war situation, they could be annoying, also deadly. Like some boy comes and shoots you. What happens then? And some sweet ladies will just make things interesting, Like you just eat the sweet and fucking throw it out. Rape the ladies and, go get away with it. It's just a mere entertainment. And if you look at the clip carefully that I have probably haven't played already, he is hesitating to say this thing out loud. Like, how the fuck can you spit the fucking words that say we need to kill civilians and act normal? Act normal? How? Now let's talk about how these psychopaths are made. Oh, it's too easy. Not actually easy how to fuck by the book, and in reality they have a difference. Like in book it's lay down and start fucking, but in reality it's way different, isn't it? But the army training is all about making animals like that. No normal human can do what a trained soldier can do. Physically and psychologically, he's way tougher. In one of my early videos, I spoke about this thing where dream dies because of hard work towards that dream. Like nothing remains in the mental box. And army training actually does that. Breaking physical limitations, make you emotionless in a way. I'm not saying armies are bad or anything. In this paradoxical reality, we need them. But how did we gain from a simple army who is to save their tribes and serve for their community, and is to have a little favors, if you're an army guy, is to get a bit more ladies and stuff. From that to today's advanced in everything, in brutality, technologically, like steroiding the brutality these days, army that works as like this backbone of a nation. Hard as the backbone, also hard mentally, like psychopathy I'm speaking of. How? So I think it started all after and before and still now World War II. As you know, many experiments were conducted to make super soldiers. Nazis did for their eugenics program. Americans did their MK Ultra. So there is this foundation everywhere controlling it. If we consider a government as a functioning body, then the army is the weaponized hand that can self-harm, as well as it's mainly used for the brain's work. And the brain is the Illuminati. Ooh, I don't believe in this joker government that every country has. I believe that jokers like that, those who fight like kids for power, can pull strings like that. Things are always controlled by someone very, very clever from the shadows. It has to be the case anyway. Like if you look at the decisions that government take, how precise those decisions are. Do you know those people who wrote the laws, who made those accurate functions. I'm speaking of mathematical functions actually, that do the complex things like you need to pay this amount of money for this and stuff like that. I know there are sectors of study where you can learn about all of this, but you get my point, right? You don't see those main working people who set the principles of a society, of country. So there are people like that guy, that bald guy in the short video, who are just obeying the chain of command, no questions. It's a part of the training. And here comes the innocent boys that feel this sensation of heroism and fake achievement when they see clips like this. They can't grasp the full picture, yet they don't question. And it's cool not to ask questions. Why? Because the military dude and World War II Nazi edits said that. And this is how a population is rising up that's actually properly MK Ultra mind programmed, and in also several programs. They just don't know it. Come to think of it, if you think deeply, there are thousands of programs run by USA mainly, and China and other governments that we don't know, we are not aware of, but we are getting consistently being influenced and changed by those programs. Like, I can give you an example. If you look at the meme culture these days, like utterly bullshit memes, like some random noise is making a man or a woman, a girl, a boy crack up. He's laughing like crazy. What? You don't know, bro. It's a meme that needs in-depth knowledge of today's meme culture. So they are playing a certain sound, a certain visual, and you are reacting in a certain way. So you have been mind-fed, you have been programmed in such a degree that now if you see a utterly ridiculous video clip or hear a sound, that would trigger some certain emotion in you. For an example, you can search some. There are some YouTubers actually, search YouTubers who react to this Gen Z memes, and in those videos you can look it up easily. Those memes are horrible. You won't laugh at any of those, but they are laughing, they're cracking up. Why? Because they know the context, some bullshit context, and they're laughing. But it used to be that comedians used to act in a certain way that's funny, like Charlie Chaplin. Nowadays people call Charlie Chaplin cringe. Can you imagine? So how dumb, how programmed our youth has been, that now sound bites, clips can trigger their certain emotions. Like this army clip, let's imagine. There are thousands of funk edits. Funk is that genre, it's a pseudo rock, I would call it. It has the rock vibe, it gives you bump like rock, but it's not rock, it's more of an instrumental. You can search it up, just write PHONK, funk, and you will get hundreds and thousands of it. So this genre of music just sums up. Kids will just see 20 seconds of a video of like army dudes doing their exercise, and in the background there would be this funk music, and they'll just get hyped up. Then there would be videos of 20 seconds that would make them angry. So let's finish the video with this. Don't get programmed. Plug yourself out. Plug yourself into stuff that you know as being helpful, and control your impulses. Stay happy, stay safe.